For the past 4 years, this has always been what I have firmly believed to be one of the best builds in Destiny, if not maybe even the best build in Destiny, for its ability to literally be invincible if you play it properly. In GMs, raids, Soul Flawless dungeons, whatever you do, you cannot die if you play this build properly. And one of the biggest criticisms I've always heard about Void Hunters is yes, they're invincible, they always survive, that's great, but they're not really ever doing a lot of damage. They're not shooting a lot of enemies, and they're always leaving all of the aggro for their two other teammates to pick up so that their two other teammates die. And I've found that if you properly play Invis Hunter, you can not only be invincible, but you can also play very aggressively, so much so in a manner that allows you to top the kill leaderboards in any team that you're in any activity that you're in. And today, I want to show you exactly how to master Void Hunter through Grandmaster Liminality that showcases exactly how you can play so aggressively, yet still be invincible, yet still top those kill leaderboards and top damage. So, we're not going to focus too much on the build overview because we're focused a lot more about how to play the build, but we'll still touch on a few components. Shadow Shot, Deadfall, Gambler's Dodge. You can go Vortex or Scatter Grenade, whatever you prefer. I personally just like Vortex a little bit because it brings all the enemies together. We, of course, have Trapper's Ambush, perfect with our Omnioculus, 2 charges. Our air, obviously have to have this for Invis Hunter in conjunction with Vanishing Step so that our dodge will make us invisible, as well as refund a melee charge with Gamblers to give us more fuel for our Trapper's Ambush, our air move, or our Throwable Smoke Bomb to make things invisible. As far as fragments go, obscurity, so we have a third source of invisibility whenever we finish targets. Starvation is absolutely massive. It's one of the biggest components that allows you to play as aggressively as we are going to showcase in this build, since it allows you to kill chain and permanently keep your health bar maxed out. And you get it from any Orb of Power pickup or Void Breach pickup, which is particularly easy in Destiny 2. We've also got Persistence so that the durations of our invisibility and Devour are increased. This also increases the amount of Devour duration that you get anytime you get a kill. So you get 8 seconds added to your Devour duration per kill instead of the typical 5. And then finally, I have Echo of Dilation. I literally only have this for the mobility bonus, and that is because on Invis Hunter, tier 10 resilience is obviously very, very important on literally any build in Destiny, but really high mobility is also very, very important. You don't quite have to have 100, but tier 8, tier 9 is really, really beneficial, and I'm willing to sacrifice a fragment slot to be able to get there. Finally, I max out my discipline because I like having my grenade a lot because it gives me some more ability regenerations through things like my mods. As far as mods go, you always want to have a siphon mod matching your primary weapon that you're going to be getting kills with, which is typically going to be your primary ammo weapon. So I have Harmonic Siphon on. You also always want to have Reaper because you're going to be using your class ability quite frequently. This is going to allow you to always be generating orbs so that you can pick them up to get devoured through the Echo of Starvation. Next, you want to lean into ability regeneration mods, things like Bomber on the class item, Absolution Innervation, so you restore a ton of ability energy on both all 3 abilities, and your grenade whenever you pick up orbs. And things like Focusing Strike, you get class ability energy whenever you cause damage with a powered melee attack. That includes the air move, the little shadow dive that you do. And then Bolstering Detonation, so we get class ability energy back when we deal damage with the grenade. Also got things like Heavy Ammo Finder and Scout, Loader mods, Scavenger mods, and Resistance mods that are specific to this Grandmaster. And then obviously Omnioculus, star of the show here, double Smoke Charge, 50% damage resistance for anyone that's invisible, and 50% Smoke Bomb refund whenever you make an ally invisible. So you can kind of use your allies strategically to kind of you basically get free invisibility cooldowns. As far as weaponry goes, just kind of specific to this GM, typically I go the Call, Graviton Lance, and Commemoration, but Graviton Lance is currently bugged on the fire rate, and it feels really, really bad to use, and will probably be really, really bad to watch. So shout out to Makomi, whose actually name is Wolf, and Cold for hopping in and helping me with this in this Grandmaster Liminality run. So like I said, the entire goal is going to be to showcase exactly how you want to play to maximize aggression without compromising on survivability. And so I'm going to kind of talk about a lot of the ability rotations that you want to do, when to turn on aggro mode, how to get into aggro mode, when to pull back a little bit more, all that good stuff, so that hopefully you walk away with this and you feel like you know how to play Invis Hunter a little bit better, not only for the survivability aspects, which you probably know pretty well if you've been watching my channel for a while, but now also for the offensive aspects. Couple side notes. I am using a new mouse So if I accidentally misclick a button or something like that, that's why, because I have a lot of my Destiny 2 inputs bound to my mouse side buttons. And I've also been on a massive Warframe kick recently. So if you see me try to bullet jump or something like that, that is why. Another side note, while we're in the easy rooms, I'm going to be at GCX, the Destiny convention, probably at the time that this video gets uploaded. So if you are also attending and you see me, feel free to say hi. All I ask is that you introduce yourself. So getting into the actual mastery of Void Hunter, one of the first things I want to emphasize is proximity to champions. You'll notice a lot in this video that I love playing extremely close to champions. And there's a misclick right there. Speaking of which, new mouse. You'll notice that I love playing extremely close to champions and tanky enemies. The main reason I love playing so close to champions is because when you fight champions, you kind of go on a cycle, if that makes sense, where you're blasting them when they have whatever their champion mechanic is, whether it's a, you know, you're breaking the barrier shield or you just stunned an unstoppable champion. And then you kind of chill out a little bit when they become unstunned and they're getting ready to do their champion mechanic again. What I love about playing Invis Hunter is since you have so many invisibility cooldowns, you can kind of stay invisible and camp a champion's immunity mechanic. And then after you do it, you stun the champion, and then you can go invisible again when it gets unstunned and just kind of camp it and sit in front of it and play mega aggressive until you eventually get a finishable, rip a finisher on it, and then it gets cooked. So you're going to see me do that a lot in this video. That's one of the parts of aggression that I absolutely love doing. It's like you become very, very, very proficient at champion killing. There's that Omnioculus 50% per ally made invis refund, by the way. If you look at my lower left, I don't even use a charge, so we're able to skip past a lot of stuff right there. That's what I meant, where that was a bit more of a team play invis. I was making my allies invis so that they could get across without having to worry about getting shot at or getting killed by any enemies. But later in this video, you'll notice how I'll kind of seek out my teammates to use an invis cooldown next to them. And I'm doing it kind of selfishly because I want to make myself invisible, but I don't want to have to use my entire melee charge to do that. So a really nice way that you can do that and be really efficient and effective with your invisibility cooldowns is by seeking out teammates and using the invis cooldowns next to them, because you're gonna get 50% of your invis back if you hit them with it, which is really, really nice. Now, typically, I have my tether at this point. I love tethering this area. But I want to get into aggressive mode. So I'm going to hit a dodge, so I proc Reaper and get a weapon final blow, pick up that orb, and boom, I have Devour now, which is going to enable my aggression a little bit more, as long as I'm continuously getting kills. So now this is the point where you're going to see me play up a little bit more, because I know I have Devour. And I'm going to go ahead and dive, go invis, but I'm going to camp this champion so I can blast its shield down the second that it comes up. And then I'll just go, since I'm surrounded by a bunch of other enemies, I'll use my grenade. I'm just weaving in and out of my invis cooldowns to smoke the barrier knight, because it is such a high priority target and a very lethal target. So you're going to see me, like I said, do that a lot in this video. Very, very, very effective use of your invisibility cooldowns to be able to destroy high priority targets. You can also look for those little dots above the enemy's heads to indicate finisher icons, and you can use those as free instances of invisibility while you're weaving in and out of invisibility, thanks to Echo of Obscurity from finishers. So that you don't have to use one of your ability cooldowns, right? So there's a lot that you can do when it comes to getting free instances of invis, whether it's popping invisibility next to an ally, Echo of Obscurity finishers, things of that nature, right? So I'm always kind of looking to maximize my ability cooldowns, my ability uptime. So now I have Devour on, and I'm going to try and play a little aggressive, because I am getting those big heals every time I get kills. And when I say playing aggressive, I mean, I don't mean like being super stupid and running in the middle of everything, but I do mean like, well, maybe kind of being a little stupid and being in the middle of everything. Because the thing is, if I ever feel like there's not an enemy that I can get the final blow on really quickly or really safely to extend my Devour, I have all of my invisibility cooldowns available to me where I can just, you know, chuck a smoke bomb on the ground and I'm safe. I can hit a dodge and I'm safe. There's that misclick again. My abilities are all bound to my mouse, so sometimes I tried to do a finisher right there on that wizard, but instead it did my tether. So a little bit of a whoop, still take a little bit of getting used to. But see, I'm just kind of all the way back here playing mega aggressive because I know that I have my dodge coming up really, really soon. So I know I can just pop my dodge if I'm ever in a dangerous position. I'll smoke this barrier knight. This guy's chasing me, so I'll just hit my dodge and then I can reposition and get out of here. And what's really, really nice is sometimes if you have enemies chasing you, you can just pop an invis cooldown just for a couple of seconds. Not even necessarily because you want to go into hiding, but just so the enemies drop aggro on you and get a little confused for a brief moment. And take a little bit to reacquire you as a target when you come out of invisibility. Sometimes, like, using an invisibility just to kind of, if I shoot this guy, dodge, get behind him, it's going to confuse him a little bit. It's going to take him a second to realize, like, oh, this guy's behind me now. Let's reacquire aggro on him. So sometimes you'll see me just use an invisibility cooldown, like, just like that. I'm always looking, so right there, I was looking for the Echo of Obscurity finisher. Whenever I see a teammate go down, that's when I typically revert into defense mode, survival mode, and just try and get their res. Get their res and then get an invis dive on them right away. So we're gonna continue killing everything. I'm really hoping to get my super back before the Hive Guardian spawns. Don't think I'm going to, though, unfortunately. So I'll just try to play my life a little bit. So right now I'm in survival mode, because Hive Guardian is my #1 priority. I can't kill it at the current moment, because I don't have my super. I can't safely kill him, rather, because I want my tether so I can suppress him. My teammate is ripping Song of Flame on him, though, so my teammate might be able to smoke him. Worst case scenario, though, so like this is a situation where you definitely don't want to be in aggro mode. You want to be in defensive mode. So that's why you're kind of seeing me play way far back. And yes, it does put my teammates in an unfortunate position. But there are situations, like I said, where you do want to be defensive. Because I don't have any invisibility cooldowns. I have a teammate dead. I don't really have a way to safely, reliably stay safe from the Hive Guardian. But now I've got my tether, and now I've got invis cooldowns. So now's a situation where I can be like, okay, let's play a little bit more aggressive. Right there, only reason I lived... well, that was bad timing, huh? Only reason I lived that shield bash, Omnioculus 50% damage resistance. Oh, I hope they get the finisher on the ghost. Because he's going to respawn with full HP. But they're not quite going to. That's okay. We'll deal with them again. They're getting my res, so we're chilling. We'll deal with them again. We are going to have to be a little safe with them, though. But the only reason I died is shield throw. That shield throw would normally one-shot me all day, every day. But Omnioculus damage resistance. Keep me nice and safe. I'm going to hit my teammate with a quick Omnioculus dive real quick as well. Hopefully keep him a little safe. He is getting bombarded, though. Let's see if I can save him. Save myself again right there with the Omnioculus damage resistance. So now... I'm okay playing a little bit more aggro, because he's out of his super. I am looking at his arm to make sure he doesn't throw that suppression grenade. And then I can run in here, get the quick squish on the ghost, finish him off. So this room was a really good example, well, I hope, of like when to go on defensive mode, when to go on offensive mode, right? It is very much based on when your super is available, very much based on what enemies are up, based on what abilities those enemies are using, based on how many smoke charges you have, how many dodge charge, if your dodge is available, things of that nature, how many allies you have dead, how many allies you have alive. And so hopefully we'll be able to continue to demonstrate when the time is for super aggressive mode versus when the time is for super defensive mode, right? So we're going to get that enemy nice in one shot so that they do not prove problematic for us when we do eventually get to the boss room, so that they're just nice in one shot, take them out, squish the ghost, and we'll be good to go. So, the next thing I want to talk about is ability rotations and ability prioritization, really. When to use which abilities, right? When should I use my tether? When should I use my grenade? When should I use my dive? When should I use my dodge, right? Generally speaking, if my smoke bomb charges, my melee charges, are anything below 1.5 charges, and I have my dodge available, I always like to go dodge. I don't know if I'll be able to get this revive. I'll do a dive to give them damage resistance. Nice! Perfect. They would have died if I didn't give them that damage resistance from the invisibility, from the Oculus invisibility on revive, so that worked out quite nice. But, as I was saying, generally speaking, so like right now I'm at about, you want to always view your dodge as not two free invisibility cooldowns, as one free invisibility cooldown if you ever have a significant amount of energy missing on one of your melee charges. Because your dodge at tier 10 mobility or tier 9 mobility or whatever high mobility you have is going to be approximately anywhere from like I want to say a 19-second cooldown to like a 26-second cooldown, which is always going to be significantly higher than whatever your strength passive regeneration is. Which is why I always like to try and use my dodge before I use a smoke bomb if I am lacking on smoke bomb energy. Now that, of course, completely changes if you have 2 smoke bombs available. If you have 2 smoke bombs available, then you always want to prioritize using one of your melee charges before you start to use your dodge. So if you have 2 smokes, the typical rotation, the ebb and flow is going to go, you're going to go your melee, your dive move, or your throwable smoke. Then you'll use your Gambler's Dodge to extend the duration of that invisibility and refresh that melee charge. And then you'll use your melee again, and then you'll use your dodge again, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The time that changes is when you're getting a little bit more aggressive, right? And you're not necessarily utilizing the full duration of your invisibility cooldowns. That's when you'll end up in a situation where maybe you go melee, dodge to get the melee back, and then you do your melee again. And then let's say after that melee, you want to come out of invisibility a little bit earlier because you want to kill a high priority target. You want to take out an unstoppable champion, something of that nature. That's when your rotation will change a little bit. And one of the main ways that you know whether or not to be in offensive mode or defensive mode is if you're trying to be in that offensive rotation and you're in a situation where you just use your last invisibility cooldown, you don't have any smoke bombs left, and your dodge is on cooldown, that's the time where you're supposed to be like, okay, I don't have a way to go back into invisibility after I exit at this time. Now is time for me to run away a little bit, play my life, go a little bit more into the survivability aspect until I'm able to get those ability charges back. And typically the waiting period for that is whenever your dodge is back up, because your dodge is not only an invisibility instance in and of itself, but it's also going to give you a second invisibility instance thanks to the fact it's refunding one of your smoke bombs. So we're continuing playing mega close to these unstops. Like I said, just the second it comes out of its stun, go invis, wait until it's ready to be stunned again. Just like that. Love playing like that against champions. Feels really, really solid. Just makes it so much easier to kill them. We're gonna demonstrate that again right here as we pull up. I'll throw a little. So I'm gonna do a dodge here because I was missing like 3/4 of a smoke charge. Finisher on that guy, free instance of invisibility. So I'm gonna stun that guy, and I'm gonna focus on the unstunned targets before I focus on the champion, because they can actually still deal damage to me. If this guy's stunned, he literally can't do anything to me. He wasn't aggroed to me, that's why I didn't care about going invisible. So I'm going to spray him down. Might actually get him into finishable territory. Perfect, I didn't have to go back into invisibility, which is really, really nice. Then we're going to come over here. Yeah, blast these enemies. Now here I'm going to selfishly use Invis, because I'm going to dive. Not because I wanted to make my allies invisible, but because I wanted to go invisible so I could cross this chasm very safely. And the safest way to do that is in invisibility. And if I dive to make both of them invis while I get myself invisible, it's like I didn't even use the cooldown because I get it back for free, thanks to Oculus. So, that's why we... that's what I meant before when I alluded to selfishly using invisibility cooldowns. So like right here again, I'll make them all invisible, make myself invisible, so I'm not in any danger of this guy waking up. Easy peasy. So now we're getting into the village area. This one's a little rough, and hopefully I can demonstrate how we're supposed to play this. So I'm going to make both my allies invisible. I always love crossing all the way. And I'm going to continuously make them invisible. Hopefully that got both of them. I actually missed one of them, so I'll do it again so I get the other. And I love playing over up on this area. First thing I want to do, though, is I want to hit a dodge. And I want to get an Orb of Power so I can start my Devour chain thanks to Echo of Starvation. And that's going to allow me to be super, super aggressive as long as I have a bunch of trash mobs to kill. I do want to kill this unstoppable champion, though. So we're going to fry him. Hit a little invis cooldown. Get on the other side of him, because it's going to confuse him big time. Should be finishable soon, actually. Free instance of invisibility. And now I have to focus on reacquiring Devour. So I'm going to look for an Orb of Power. There's one right there. Absolute perfection. And then we're just going to kill stuff to continuously refresh the Devour. Pull out the machine gun, keep killing stuff. And then basically, I don't really need to be in invisibility right now. So you're going to see me stay out of invisibility until I get into a position where there's either a ton of ads and I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, or until we get into a position where I get one shot. And so this is the situation where you do not want to be playing safe. We have all of our invis cooldowns. Both of my allies are up. We have Devour active. It's time to go. It's time to hit the go button. We get 100 HP on every single kill. I'm going to get that free instance of invisibility. Hit my dodge because I'm missing a smoke cooldown. So let's get that back because our dodge is going to be back in 19 seconds. But that smoke bomb would not have been. So right there, precarious position. Hit the invis so they de-aggro. Let me get my bearings. Figure out what my plan was. My plan was to kill that weak acolyte because I knew it would proc my Devour. And then I just keep on smoking everything. Now we got some bats up. Keep killing all the bats. Get my Devour going. Got some stuff spawning on me, so I'm going to go back into invisibility, reassess the situation. And so right here is where I'm playing mega aggro. Now I am one shot, so let's hit our dodge so we can reassess the situation, get our invis cooldown back. Getting overwhelmed a little bit, so we'll back off a touch. And now I'm feeling good to play up a little bit more. We've got invis cooldowns. We have all of our invis cooldowns, in fact. I'm going to take out these bats. Taking a little too much damage. I didn't dive early enough. I should have dove a little bit earlier. So here's where my teammates are probably going to want to pop their supers so they can get me up. I think we do have a Song of Flame available. Maybe not. Perfect. So he's going to pop the Song of Flame. He's going to rush over and pick me up. And we'll keep on going. Yeah, so right there, I should have dove a lot earlier. And I could have even, honestly, it might have been a better play to do my throwable smoke. And so this is another good topic. Throwable smoke versus the dive. So in most instances, you're going to want to use the dive, because it has increased invisibility duration. It has increased radius to weaken enemies. It has increased radius to make your allies invisible. And it's just a better version of the actual throwable smoke bomb in every single way. The only place that it falls a little bit short, that it falters a touch, is the fact that you are animation locked in position for about half a second. And the problem with that is, when you go invisible, enemies will continue to fire on your last known position, aka the position that you dove into, right? And so the one advantage that the throwable smoke bomb has over diving is that you can do it on the run. You're not locked into a particular position, which means if enemies continue to fire on your last known position after you throw down a throwable smoke bomb, you're already out of there because you're running as you're throwing it. And the one place that can be very, very, very reliable on is if you're in a situation where you have a ton of enemies firing on you, you're getting low on HP, and you need to go invis. If you're already low on HP and you have enemies firing on you, and they're going to continue to fire on your last known position, then when you hit your dive, you might continue to take more damage, enough to finish you off and do the final blow if you're one shot as you go invis. Compared to if you do a throwable smoke, you can do it while you're mobile, while you're on the move, and you can get out of there and be perfectly fine. So that is, I would say, the one instance in which you would want to use a throwable smoke bomb over a dive, is if you're really weak, you got a lot of enemies aggroed on you, a lot of enemies firing on you, and you're like, this is looking a little bit hairy. Let me get out of here. Otherwise, pretty much always want to use the shadow dive. But there are very, very much uses for the throwable smoke. There is good reason to use it. So make sure you do have it as part of your arsenal, especially if you're looking to play the ultra aggressive playstyle, because the ability to chuck that throwable smoke on the ground and get the heck out of there, making sure that enemies aren't continuing to fire it on you because you're animation locked in your little dive situation, that can be very, very huge. That can be the difference between dying and getting out with 5 HP, 10 HP. So, through with that part, hit that activate, continue on. And while we're waiting for this lava to fall down, if you could do me a huge favor, scroll down real quick. If you haven't hit the like button on the video yet, if you could do that real quick, that'd be super cool. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel either, if you could hit that subscribe button real quick, that'd be really, really cool. Because, you know, this part's not particularly interesting anyway. Just, you know, got a couple of thrall. Not particularly a big deal to fight. So, yeah. Appreciate it. Also, maybe a good time to mention, I stream all the time, weekdays, noon Eastern, twitch.tv/Mactics. Just stop by sometime. Love meeting everyone. So, in this area, we're just going to run all the way back here, because all we care about is this barrier champion for platinum. And I'm going to demonstrate once again. Just playing right up in its face. I'm going to wait for it to get its... Hopefully my teammates can take it down to barrier shield territory. If they can't, it's totally okay. So I'll smoke the barrier shield on that. And then once it gets unstunned, go invis again, chill out. Shield up again, smoke it again. That ogre is looking at me, not a fan of that. So I'm going to drop aggro. Wait till the shield comes back up. Smoke the shield. Make sure the ogre is not re-aggroing on me. Get a dodge. It's finishable. But I still liked doing the dodge right there, even if I was going to go into the finisher. Just because it got me one of my invisibility cooldowns back. So make both my allies invisible so they can get out of there. Make the res a little bit safer. We'll be on our way to the boss room because we don't care about the rest of those enemies because they're not champions. We'll still get our platinum. We're good to go. So, we're going to continue on our way, get to the boss room, and hopefully make this a very quick boss room. This is another area where being very, very aggressive can pay off very greatly. There's a lot of trash mobs. There's a lot of weaker mobs. And we can take advantage of them to fuel our Devour chains. So 2 ways to fuel our Devour chains: getting a double kill, of course, or opening with a dodge. That'll proc Reaper, we get the orb, now we have Devour. And now for the most part, we can just go on an absolute rampage and smoke everything. Throw a lot of grenades, because for every Devour kill, we get grenade energy back. I'm trying to keep an eye on that Tormentor just to make sure it doesn't surprise me. We are slowed right now. That's okay. Still got Devour up, so I'm still playing mega aggressive. I honestly don't care about that knife. It can't really hurt me because I'm continuously getting 100 HP heals. Can hurt me if it spits fire on me, though. So we're just going to keep weaving in and out of our invisibility. Smoking all the mobs. I was one shot for a brief moment. I was contemplating going invisible right there, but I saw that the Acolyte was staggered. And I knew that I still had Devour active. I knew I could finish him off, get the 100 HP heal, and that would be right as rain. Continuing to smoke all the mobs. Nice and easy. We're playing right in their faces. And there's nothing they can do about it. Because if they do get me weak, which they won't because I have Devour, so I'm getting 100 HP heal on every single person that I kill. But if they do get me weak, theoretically, then I just rip a quick pop invis real fast. Then I drop the aggro, reassess my bearings, and I get back to it. Like I said, sometimes you're not always popping invisibility to make the most out of every single second of that invisibility cooldown. Sometimes you're literally just popping invisibility to drop aggro temporarily, maybe run to the other side of them. So like if they're currently looking at you, then, you know, maybe you pop invisibility, you run to the other side of them, it takes him a second to figure out where you are again. And, like, honestly, that can be enough to give you a very easy kill window. So, we're going to hit a quick dodge through our Vortex Grenade. I'm hoping to get a double kill to proc Harmonic Siphon to get an orb so I get Reaper. There we go. And now we can go back to playing very, very aggressive. Although I do see one of my teammates is dead, so I'm going to be a little smart. Try and smoke this Ravenous Knight, because the Knights are a little tankier. Not as easy to proc Devour off of. I can also go ahead and smoke him, get a free instance of Invisibility with Obscurity. And then we can maybe even play super aggressive on this Phalanx. He's not stunned anymore, so we'll hit a dodge. Wait until those antlers stop glowing, which means he can be stunned again. I have a ton of stuff spawning on me, so let's get a little bit back to safety. My tether is doing work, though, which is great. Make sure we're killing all the trash mobs. Keep our Devour rolling. I am missing a smoke charge, so I'm going to hit a quick dodge. And we're just kind of playing mega aggressive. Combo I love to do as well if I run into a bunch of enemies. I love throwing that smoke bomb. It pulls all the enemies together. Then you do a shadow dive onto them to weaken them, do a little bit more damage. It can be really, really nice for dispatching packs of not quite as tanky mobs. So we still have Devour. We get 8 seconds of Devour for every single kill. So unless we are completely retreating from the fight, it is really hard to lose Devour. Get the finisher on that guy. And then I'm going to... If one of you guys want to go and grab that that other relic on the other side, the running one, feel free while I do this one. You don't have to. We'll just shorten the runtime of the video. So it's not quite as long of a watch. Either way, it's okay. Doesn't matter either way. I can also get it if need be. And the problem is if I go to get that relic, I'm gonna try and bullet jump through the tunnel because I'm gonna I think I'm playing Warframe. I've been playing so much Warframe the past couple days. Great game. Not quitting Destiny. Not quitting Destiny. Man, oh, it's been good. Nice, good stuff. Well done. W for Wolf. Big shout out to Wolf. Superb play. And now we continue on with being aggressive. So, as we said before, we're going to hit a dodge. I can actually probably... Nope, I didn't kill him in time. We're going to hit a dodge to proc Reaper. Kill a Acolyte to get an orb for Devour. The orb is right next to the Tormentor, though. So, we're going to go Invis to go and pick up the orb, so he doesn't do the slam on us. And another nice thing, too, to keep in mind is if you see orbs of power on the field made from your teammates, those are also Devour extensions. 8 seconds of Devour a pop per orb or Void Breach you see, even if your teammates create it. So if you're running around the field and you're getting a little bit low on Devour, you're low on invisibility cooldowns, you know, you don't feel great about trying to get back in the fray and kill an enemy to extend Devour, you can just go ahead and run over an orb of power to or whatnot. And 2 orbs of power will get you to max timer. They'll give you 8 seconds apiece. You max out at 15 seconds of Devour. So you do have that option as well. I honestly, after years of playing this build, I look at orbs of power and all I think is, ooh, Devour fuel. Which is kind of funny. So that is completely a valid option. So I want to save a little bit of heavy for the final waves of ads. So I got about half of my heavy left, so I'm going to burn this guy down with my funnel web. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I do have a lot of special ammo, but the rocket pistols are abysmal for Tormentor damage for whatever reason. Like if I shoot his shoulder. 2,000 damage for a rocket shot. Meanwhile, my funnel web does 977 a bullet, so 3 funnel web bullets beats the... Yeah, it's not great. We also, we only have 1 shoulder that we can shoot right now, which is kind of annoying. So this is taking a second. I'll pull out the heavy just to expedite this a little bit. Okay. So now we need to get that wizard in the back of the map. So I'm gonna prep for it. I don't have my grenade available actually. I was gonna throw my grenade at that cave, but I don't have it. So we're gonna smoke this wizard, finish off the ghost. Pop. And then we're gonna get our supers going. I need to get my Devour, though. Step 1. I should get it from this Acolyte, because I just dodged. So a post-class ability usage weapon kill. That will give it to me. And I'm not playing quite as aggro right now, because these arc-shielded knights hurt a lot. So this is my time to be just a little smarter about my play. So we're gonna nail that guy. I do want to kill this barrier knight, but I kind of want to save my tether for the subjugator that's about to spawn. You know what? He spawns in like 1 HP. Probably don't need to save it. Ooh, buddy. Yep, that was my bad right there. You'll notice I jumped immediately after I went invis. That's because, as I said before, that barrier knight was going to continue to fire on my last known position. And my last known position, since I dodged to go invis right there, was on the ground. So that's why I jumped right there to try and change up my last known position. Yeah, I'm gonna pop this tether right here. Go invis, wait until a shield comes up, smoke his shield. He's stunned, so I get the free fire on him for a little bit. Get the finisher, so I get a free invis cooldown, and then we get the subjugator up as well. And the subjugator is very, very dangerous, so I'm gonna play a little smart around him. I actually should not have shot that enemy right there because I don't have any invis cooldown. So now I have to play super passive and hope that I don't get flanked on a bunch of different sides. Maybe not that passive because I do have Devour. I know they're squishy enemies. Now I'll hit my dodge next to this guy before killing him, even though I don't really care about the invis cooldown from the dodge in and of itself. I did want to dodge just because my dodge is on such a low cooldown, and I wanted to pop it real quick to get one of my smoke bombs back. So we're going to keep frying this guy. Play cover. Be smart. He's finishable, which is perfect. I just had to look at my mouse to make sure my thumb was on the right button, which is very, very funny. And then I'm going to pick up the Stake in Essence, and I'm going to just chill for a second, get this revive before we continue. Grab it up. And then knock this bad boy in. And so now, once again, we're going to have all of our trash mobs spawn. I'm actually going to dodge next to that guy and kill him to proc my Reaper, and I'm going to leave the orb there until the enemies spawn. That was fun. So that way I can wait for the enemies to spawn. Scoop it right up. There's my fresh Devour. And we are rolling. Now here, I had to be a little more careful there because the Tormentor is on the move now. So I hope my teammates pop their supers so they can come and res me. That one I flubbed a little bit because I forgot to account for the fact that the Tormentor was going to rush me because he's in his enraged form now. So he's a lot less docile than in the first 2 phases. So that was my mistake. This is my first day on Destiny in like 5 days, so I'm not playing particularly at my best. But hopefully the tips are still helpful, despite me getting clapped a little bit. So we're going to keep playing a little bit aggressive. Here, since, like I said, the Tormentor is in anger mode. Oop. I did not have my unstop ready to go. So we're going to go invis, load it up. Checking for the Tormentor to make sure it's not running towards me. Go invis because he is not stunnable anymore. I'm going to hit him with the tether because I really want him dead. Hit a finisher for the invisibility. And then we're going to go and play for our teammate. So right there, killing a couple of enemies. Then we're just going to throw a smoke bomb. Probably could have done a finisher. Oop. I'm going to try and get my ally with the smoke bomb right there so the Tormentor doesn't smack him. So I did the throwable smoke there because I needed some range on it. I didn't want to dive onto it. Otherwise, I would have potentially gotten smoked by the Tormentor along with him. Since the Tormentor suppresses when he does his ground pound, it takes away all your status effects. So I would have lost invisibility. So that's why we went ahead and did that right there. So right now I have 1 melee charge and I have my dodge up. So I do want to try and get a dodge off by the Tormentor. 1, so I get a little bit of invis, and 2, just really so I get that invis cooldown back. So we're going to keep on shooting him. So I just kept blasting. Keep on cooking, keep on cooking. Will eventually spawn another wave of enemies. I think when we get to the T in their name, if I'm not mistaken. I am a little low on heavy ammo. I wish I had a brick somewhere. But I don't. So this might end up being a real slow burn. So I'm gonna stop DPSing him because I do want to get my teammate up before we spawn the ads. Oh, never mind. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. So right here, I see my teammate super low, so I'm gonna... Ooh, I couldn't save him. I tried to save him, but I couldn't save him. But I'll be able to get his res, no problem. So now I'm in defensive mode. I don't have Devour, and I have a teammate dead. So that is defensive mode. Hit a quick invis on him immediately when I get him up so the Tormentor doesn't smoke him. Drop a tether in mid. Hopefully make it really easy to kill all the ads. Just gotta clean everything up. I'm slowed, so I want to throw a throwable smoke because I can't dodge while I'm under stasis effects. And I still don't have Devour, but I have some orbs up right here, so I'm gonna go invis, collect the orbs, get my Devour. And now I'm allowed to go a little bit more aggro mode. You get your super back unfathomably fast, by the way, if that wasn't obvious. Which is also very, very nice. Let's get another tether going. This should be the last pack of ads. Tether is absolutely mint. Hit a quick dodge because I was missing a smoke charge and I wanted to go invisible because the Tormentor was rushing me. I should probably play to get my teammate up right now. Never mind. They got the res. They don't even need me. So I can just keep on. So this guy's finishable. I don't really want to continue trying to waste ammo on him. So I'm going to run in and get the obscurity finisher. Couple more trash mobs. Hit a quick dodge next to that guy because I saw him nearby me. Dodge was available. Was missing the smoke bomb. Hook him. He's mega aggroing me, so I'm going to get out of there. And he's about to do his dive, so let me get out of there. And then should just be a little DPSing. Oh, whoa, I got some curse thrall whacking me. That was almost not good. Ring around the rosy with him. Dodges little cleave attacks and whatnot. And just like that, he's dead. So, hopefully, that was helpful. Like I said, one of my favorite builds. And I think a lot of people don't realize how truly aggressive you really can be. If we look at the post-game leaderboard, and my two teammates played great, by the way, so this is not indicative of them not being good, but 133 kills, 183 kills. I had 288 kills. So I almost had their kills combined, right? And it's not because they're bad or anything like that. It's just because I was playing super aggressive. I was always shooting at enemies. I was always in the face of everything. The build really can be that good, and it really can be that offensive, high damage, ad clearing, if you know when to, you know, kind of weave back and forth in and out of the invisibility, defensive mode, survival mode, versus the onslaught, devour, kill chain, weave in and out of invis to smoke champion shields and get, you know, bursts of damage on champions. It can be really, really good. So hopefully this enriches your Hunter gameplay experience. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.